Welcome to The Explainer, where we're all about breaking down the big stories behind the numbers. And today, we are diving into India's 2026 Union Budget. It's a plan that's really making waves because of two massive parallel pushes, one for national security and the other for national development. Okay, let's jump right in with the one number that tells the biggest story, 7.84 lakh crore rupees. This, right here, is the new allocation for the Ministry of Defense. It's a staggering figure, and it sends a crystal clear signal about the government's top priorities.
Now, to put that into perspective for you, this is a nearly 16% jump from last year. And look, an increase like that, that's not just some routine adjustment. No way. That's a major strategic statement about seriously beefing up the country's military capabilities.
So that's the big headline, right? A record budget. But what does that number actually buy? Let's peel back the layers and see where all this money is really going. The budget really breaks down into two main buckets. A massive chunk, over 2 lakh crore, is earmarked for what's called capital outlay. Just think of it as the modernization fund. This is the cash for new fighter jets, advanced naval ships, and cutting-edge technology. The rest goes to revenue spending, which covers the essentials like salaries, day-to-day operational costs, and of course, pensions.
And you have to understand, this year's huge budget isn't just some random one-off spike. It's actually the continuation of a very clear multi-year trend. With the complex geopolitical scene and ongoing tensions at the borders, defense spending has been climbing steadily. It signals a real long-term commitment to national security. But here's the thing. As massive as that defense number is, it's only half the story. This budget reveals an equally ambitious plan to build up the nation's foundational economic strength at the very same time.
And bam, here is the other headline number you need to see. The government is boosting its total capital expenditure, or CAPEX as you'll hear it called, to a massive 12.2 trillion rupees. This is the money getting poured into long-term assets, things like roads, railways, and ports. These are the absolute essential building blocks needed to power India's goal of becoming a $5 trillion economy.
So what does all that spending look like in the real world? Well, it paints this incredible picture of a nation literally under construction. We're talking about a whole network of new high-speed rail corridors, dedicated freight lines to move goods way faster, strategic roads right up to the borders, and even opening up new national waterways. It's a comprehensive game plan, connecting economic centers while securing the country's frontiers. So here's the really crucial part. It's not just about the sheer amount of money being spent, it's about where that money is pointed. And that gets us to the core philosophy, the big idea driving this entire budget.
And that big idea has a name, indigenization, or Atmanirbharta. You might have heard of it. It means self-reliance. The goal is actually pretty simple, but it's huge, to build what India needs in India. This applies to everything from top-tier defense equipment to components for new infrastructure, all with the aim of creating jobs and cutting down dependency on foreign supply chains.
And if you want to see that strategy in action, look no further. This government spending isn't just disappearing overseas. Nope, it's translating directly into huge multi-year contracts for India's own defense manufacturers. The order books for companies like HAL and BEL are absolutely packed for years to come. I mean, that's the kind of incredible stability these businesses dream of. And the government isn't just throwing money at the problem. It's backing this up with some really smart targeted policies. By getting rid of customs duties on key imported parts and materials, they're making it cheaper and easier for domestic companies to do their thing. The end goal here is to build a complete, self-sufficient aerospace and maintenance hub right here in India. Okay, so we've got this high-level strategy, right? Spend big and spend local. But this isn't just theory. It has very real, very immediate consequences for the economy and the financial markets. So let's talk about why all this matters to investors.
It's really no surprise who the market thinks is the big winner here. I mean, check this out. Nearly 40% of investment managers are basically pointing with a giant foam finger directly at the defense sector. They see that perfect combination of more money, a big push for domestic manufacturing, and sustained government spending. And all of this, naturally, puts a huge spotlight on a specific group of companies. You've got these domestic players in aerospace, electronics, shipbuilding. They are all perfectly positioned to benefit from this steady flow of government orders. For investors, this gives these companies a clear roadmap for their earnings for years to come. And if there's one thing the market loves, it's that kind of predictability. So at the end of the day, when you take a step back and look at the whole picture, India is pouring historic amounts of money into these two giant engines, one for securing its borders and the other for building its economic future. It really makes you wonder, right? By firing up these twin engines of military strength and modern infrastructure, what kind of nation is India building for the world stage? That's the billion, or I guess the trillion rupee question this budget leaves us with.